Oh shit, here we go again.
Hi. Okay, it's working. Y'all, I literally been trying to get this shit to work for over an hour. Mind you, I work at a radio station. How does that make any kind of sense? But sorry I'm late, y'all. Welcome to Behind Schedule, the podcast. I am your host, Carly, aka C Money Murder. And until I get a better name, that's all we're gonna work with because everyone from radio is like, oh my gosh, like C Money Murder, like you can't say it on the radio. So it's just Carly for now. Carly, C Money Murder. I'll answer to both. But hi girls, hi boys, hi homies, hi friends, hi foes. Hello everybody. Finally, I'm freaking recording, y'all. If y'all really would have just saw me like trying to get to recording stuff, like it was literally such a mess. But I got my little notes, my little outline on my iPad because I'm using my camera on my phone to record for now. Don't got none of that high tech shit yet, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. For all my audio girlies, if you can't see the video, I wanted to say hey to you because I'm an audio girly. If I'm in the gym, I'll put the pod on real quick. I'll put my headphones on because honestly, music gets tiring after a while. Like I can only listen. What am I gonna listen to all the time? I already listen to it in the car before I go out, while I'm getting ready, at work. I just need to hear some voices. Like I really do not need to hear music all the time. Like it really just kind of makes me want to like tone everything out. But if you're watching this, thank you so much for your support. This is going to be a long journey. Now, I want to tell you guys about the name and why it took so long. So, there's just a lot going on in life and everyone says like there's always a lot going on in life obviously, but I was just so lost on like what I wanted to do with the podcast at first, one thing about me, I work in a club. So, mind you, it's a strip club for that. And everyone's like, oh my God, like, you need to make your podcast about the strip club and da da da. Babe, this is not Atlanta. This isn't Houston. This is Philadelphia. And my strip club don't even play songs with like curse words in it. They be bleeping out ass. Like, how you a strip club and you bleeping out ass? Be so for real. So, no, like I wasn't gonna talk about that. My club is boring. It's not really anything to talk about. I just work there, I get my money, and I hang out with my girls, and I did. Like this, what else is there to do? You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want it to make about that. And then I really just didn't know where to take it. Like, yeah, like I wanted to approach like girls and we're gonna talk about like girl stuff, relationships, all that jazz. But I didn't want it to be just about that. Like I wanted it to be kind of like a no jumper vibe, like just very like urban, like very like pop, not like pop urban, I guess. Like, like trending topics. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about fashion, just like the culture, where people think it's going. And I do want to dabble in, like a little relationships, a little host story. We'll tell a little hotel or two and just everything like that. So that's why it just took me so long. And then the name. I literally been working on a name for this shit for mad long, like years, at least 2 years. And it was gonna be so many things before it became behind schedule. But it's called behind schedule because I'm always late to everything. I've been late to the podcast game because, like I said, I should have been started this in like 2018 and I didn't because I didn't have a name. I didn't have like a flow, and I really just wanted it to be perfect. I wanted to come in with a plan and not just be talking about bullshit, even though this episode we're going to be talking about bullshit. But, introductions suck. So we're just trying to get to know each other. It's weird for me to just be talking in front of a camera, but I plan to have people doing interviews on here. And ew, that's probably so nasty, y'all. Like just the swallow. Wait, did I press record? Hold on. Did I press record? Okay, yeah. All right, bitch. Because if I didn't press record, I really was gonna just give up then and there and be like, all right, you're not supposed to start a podcast. So, yeah, I just really didn't know where I wanted to go with it, and that's how we ended up here. But I'm glad we did. You know why? Because now everything is right where it needs to be. God's time is divining. So if he wanted me to wait a couple years and be behind schedule, I'm gonna be behind schedule. And we're just gonna do this together. So yeah, I wanted to welcome you guys to my journey. And as I mentioned before, I wanted to be more of like an interview style. Um, sorry, I keep taking like long pauses, but it's my first one, bitch. Like, chill out. But if you guys have any recommendations on people you want to see, like I said, whether it's music, fashion, or if you just think they're a dope person, if they're doing dope things in the community, whether that's Philly, Jersey, Delaware, any community that you think someone is doing their shit with, I would love to talk to them and just have a conversation. I don't want it to be a forced interview. I want it to be just something very organic. And I would love to have organic people on my show because I feel like I'm very organic. So if we got other motherfuckers to match, like we gonna be in this shit together. So yeah, if you have any recommendations or if you yourself, if you think you're a dope person, let me find out. Let me find out and I'm gonna let my fans find out. And I gotta get some fans first. But we all gonna judge you. So it's just gonna be off rip like that. So yeah, so that's a little bit about my show. Again, welcome to Behind Schedule, the podcast. Let me tell you all about me. So again, my name is Carly, but I'll answer to C Money Murder, C Murder, C Money, C whatever, but don't call me Charlie because I really will just never ever talk to you again. Let me tell y'all a quick story about that. So this was like 3 summers ago, and I met a guy through like a friend, whatever, and he was a hood booger. Like he really was a hood booger. I don't want to say all he get into, but just know he was a hood booger, right? And my friend was dating his friend, so it was kind of like that, like just like a little connection, whatever. Mind you, we didn't really even date for real. Like we didn't do any activities besides like go to the local bar and drink and maybe get like Taco Bell or Wendy's at like 4 o'clock in the morning. We didn't even have sex. We kissed once, but like we were hanging out like basically every day for a month. But I want to tell y'all, this man thought my name was Charlie for the whole time we were talking. And his friend called me Charlie, and I'm thinking like as a joke, like haha, Charlie, Carly, whatever. No, like he dead ass. My name in his phone was saved as Charlie. Be so for real. And another thing, I'm 5'9", so I'm tall. This was a short king, and this is why you can't give short men chances. Cause he was a good like 5'7", like very much like coming up to my ear. So I wasn't even gonna take him serious in the first place. It was just cool to be entertained at the time. However, he really dead ass thought my name was Charlie, and I literally like we were driving in the car, and he said, "I'm like, yo, like, what's my name?" Because I think he really just didn't know it. But my friends kept like, they're like, "Why you keep calling her Charlie? Why you keep calling her Charlie?" He's like, "That's her name, like Charlie." And I'm like, "You dead ass think my name is Charlie?" Like, and then he dropped me off, and I've never spoken to that man ever again because be so for real. So Charlie is triggering. More of the story, Charlie is triggering. Do not call me it because I will slap you. Dead ass. I will just slap you. Otherwise, I'm Carly. I'm 25, born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey. 609 dummies stand up. I rep North Jersey. I rep Central Jersey. But if you claim that I'm from South Jersey, again, you won't get hit. For the people on the audio, you're gonna get hit with that slap because it's just really like South Jersey and any other part of Jersey are too. I would even rather be claimed to be by the beach than South Jersey. South Jersey just gives me like Trump vibes. It gives me very much like country. Like that's not Jersey. Jersey is just not South Jersey. So yeah, moral story. Born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey. I lived in Pittsburgh for 4 years. I went to Robert Morris University, but if you go out and you meet me outside, I'm gonna tell you I went to Pitt because no one's ever heard of my school, and that's fine. Like I get it. It's a small D1 school. I ran track there, so I didn't really do it for y'all. I didn't do it for y'all at all. I did it for me because the bitch got a scholarship. So I lived in Pittsburgh for 4 years of my life, and Pittsburgh is honestly a really cool city. Like I love the atmosphere. The people are like, but honestly, Pittsburgh got really good food too. Like if you are a foodie and you like to just travel to eat at different restaurants and stuff, they have banging ass food. Like some of the best food I've ever had in my life, and like I literally would just go back to do like a food tour. But I lived there for 4 years, and it was really just like a different experience. And I went to college from the year 2016 to 2020, and both of them are election years, and both of them Trump was running. So my freshman year of college, you know, and mind you, Pennsylvania is a Democratic state, but like there's only like two real Democratic areas. Let me no, not even. Basically, the half side of Pennsylvania is probably all Democrat. The side that's closest to Jersey and Delaware and to like the East Coast, and then the other half, the majority of it, because Pennsylvania is like this big. I want to say about this big is Democratic, but there's hella people, and then the rest is Republican, and very much so like I don't know. I don't want to say hit because that's just a mean word, but very much Trump supporters. I'm going to say. I'm just gonna say that my first party my freshman year, it was a frat party. Like there's a lot of white people. I get it. Cool. Whatever. We gonna vibe. Like a lot of my friends are white, so we gonna vibe. But this is where I drew the line, y'all. So basically, the basketball team came. It's all niggas. Duh. So the basketball team came and they walked in, and all of a sudden, I guess one of the frat boys, like someone's liquor went missing. So they automatically assumed it was somebody from the basketball team because it happened at the time they arrived. And they're like, nah, like we didn't take your liquor. We brought our own. We're just trying to like have fun, whatever. They literally like this. It was honestly really bad. They're like, I need all the black people to get the fuck out my house. Da da da. And me and my friends were like, mind you, I'm hanging out with all colored people. So we're all just like, yo, like, they did not just say that, but they said it. And then we like go to walk out, and they're like, oh, no, no, no. Like, you guys are okay. Bitch, do I not look black to you? Like, is that, like, are you missing something? Because we're black. You told us to leave. Fuck you. And fuck this dumbass party. So we left. But that was my first college experience. And it was just like, for coming from Jersey where everybody gets along with everybody, like, I've really never experienced racism in that part of Jersey. And then to go to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and just that happened. I'm like, yo, be so for real. Like, this cannot be happening. So yeah, that happened. But otherwise, Pittsburgh is honestly what you make it. It's not like Philly where there's like shit to do all the time. It's not like Jersey where the people and the vibes are just always at a high. It was just like you kind of had to find the fun and be Delulu and ignore everything else that's going on around you. And that's basically my college experience, and that was dope. And then after 2020, COVID year, so I got to leave college early. Not like leave early, but like we all had to go home in March because COVID. So then I finished college online, and then I lived at home for a year. Now, my college job right after I graduated, I worked for a lawyer. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna go to law school and da da da. No, no, I hated working for the lawyer. And I would be at my cubicle sleep. Like, if y'all on the audio, y'all can't hear me, but just pretend I'm asleep. Like, sleep in my cubicle. And they would yell at me all the time because it's like, I get it. Like, why am I sleeping in the cubicle? I understand from like an employer's standpoint, but it was just so boring. Like, yes, the knowledge was great. However, I would not want to do that for the rest of my life and like it just be stressed all the time. You really like in a blink of an eye, like 5 more assignments happen and like you have to keep up with all of them. It really just wasn't for me. So then I became a bartender, and that was, again, I think that was like 2020. Yeah, that was 2020. So I've been bartending ever since 2020. I worked at Bahama Breeze for a very long time. And that was like I would come home from college and then I would work at Bahama and then go back to school. I worked there like my junior year summer and then my senior year summer, and then I got the lawyer job. So I was like, eh. And then after I quit the lawyer's office, I worked at Bahama, like basically full time for a whole year. Maybe probably like a whole year and a half, like 2 years. I worked at Bahama for mad long. Like if you know, you know. Like Bahama really had me in a chokehold. I never called out. I would always find a cover. Like it was just at a point like I was just scared. So I worked there, and then unfortunately like my dad had passed away in April, basically the last day of April in 2021. And then basically like when that happened, I was just like, I'm like miserable. I really don't want to be here. Like I was working hard and I wasn't getting compensated for like all the work I was doing. And then it's like you see shit, like you see people not working hard and still making money, more money than I was ever making. So then I applied to work at the strip club, got the job, and like kind of left Bahama like a month after that. And I've been there ever since. So I've been at the strip club for 2 years. But again, bartender and bottle serving. I'm not no stripper. I really wish I could be. I really wish I could be, y'all. But I just don't have that in me. And like strippers, like if you think of a stripper, they're selling fantasies, like sexy fantasy. Like I'm too much of a goofball Can't do it, but I salute my stripper soldiers. I salute y'all. Y'all are really my girls. And in November of 2021, I moved to Philly and I've been here ever since. And I do love Philly and I hate it at the same time. Like it's just like that love-hate relationship. Like I love it because there's always something to do. Like don't get me wrong, there really is so much to do. And it's just like it's kind of small. Like basically all the people you need to know, like you can meet them like if you're just like in the right place at the right time. Like it's like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but that I mean it's cool though. Like I think it's really cool. Like I've very much networked here. I met somebody. That's how I got my job here at the radio station at the strip club. So it's like it's very much opportunities, but at the same time, it's just Philly people got the worst. And y'all know y'all got the worst attitude. So don't come at me crazy when I say y'all got the worst attitude. Philly girls and Philly men have the worst attitude. And it's just very hard to find genuine people here, which I have, thank goodness. But y'all know y'all be wildin'. Y'all know I'm talking to the mic. Cause I'm talking to you, I'm talking to the mic. Y'all know y'all be mean as shit. And even when I first started working at Sin, like I was just, being me, like all customer serving and shit. And people would be like, "You're from Jersey, aren't you?" And it would happen so often. I'm like, "Do I have something like on my forehead that says I'm from Jersey?" Everyone would just be, I'll be like, "How did y'all know that I'm from Jersey?" And it's not the way I talk. Like I don't have that very much like Jersey like accent. And they were just like, "Oh, like you're just so nice. Like Philly people aren't nice like that." And it's true. Y'all really aren't nice like that. But however, like I said, I've met some really nice people here and like it's really just become my home, especially now that my family has moved out of like the house I grew up in. I like literally have no ties to Trenton anymore besides going to see my friends and stuff. Otherwise, my home is here. So thanks Philly for letting me in. I love you guys, but like just please be a little bit nicer to me, please. And yeah. So that's really just like a little bit more about me. Also I just want to talk about like me like growing up. I feel like a lot of people think just because of the way I like talk, the way I act, and the way I hold myself, people like think I'm coming from more scenes than I do. Like I really come from like not like I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Let me see what I wrote in my notes. Like I didn't grow up in a steady home. Like I grew up my grandmom took care of me. She was working like two jobs at one point just to like support me and my cousin. Me and my cousin grew up together too. Like basically we're like sisters. And yeah, like it's just a lot. Like it's a lot to see people like getting things that you want and you like never could get them now. So I feel like as an adult and like being able to have money for myself, I splurge a lot and I'm working on it now. But like I would just like if I want something like I'm buying it immediately, no questions asked. Because I feel like I was deprived of like that as a child. I feel like that's a part of my life I got to miss out on. And when I was in elementary school, I don't know, I don't even know like how to like what this is called. But at the beginning of the school year, the government basically will give like families of like low income, they basically give you like $500 so you can go school shopping. Well, basically in Jersey. I don't know if this is everywhere. But they would give you $500 and you can go for school shopping. Basically just like it's like a little like debit card thing. And me and my cousin would have to split it because there's two of us. So we would get like $250 and we would probably get like a new pair of shoes and like a few jeans and like a few tops like every year before like it was from like kindergarten until high school. And then after that like the aids just stopped because like you can work at that time and whatever. And so like a lot of times it's like I would only get one pair of shoes a year, y'all. A year. Like not even for like a Christmas present or anything. Like maybe for Christmas I would get clothes, but it's like, you got to pick out your favorite pair of sneakers for this year and hopefully they would fit. And then if you played sports, like that is just like obviously like an outside like expense. So like I would get like a pair of cleats a year, and I at the time I was playing basketball, but I suck at basketball, so just basically I grew up very humble, very very humble. I knew my grandma worked a lot to have the things that I had, obviously to put a roof over my head and to feed me. So shout out to my grandma. That's my girl. We're locked in. So yeah, I just feel like that's like a big misconception I get that like I'm like this bougie, like oh my god, like no, like everything you see is like a form in the works, and like I'm getting it on my own, and I'm working hard to achieve. and to be the woman of my dreams, y'all, because I really was struggling back in the day. But we're here now, you know. I wanted to, I wish I could cut that out, but whatever. We're gonna keep rolling. And so growing up, like it was like I said, it was just me and my cousin. However, like growing up, my dad wasn't really in the picture at first, but my cousin's dad and like their side of the family was. So basically, I felt like I was like kind of like an only child. But bitch, I was making friends. Okay, one thing about me, I'm gonna talk to somebody. I'm gonna talk to anybody about anything just to like have a common connection. And like for example, my grandma and I, we would go to the beach, just us two. And obviously it's my grandma, like she old, probably getting drunk somewhere. So I'm like, okay, like where are the kids? Like I'm gonna hang out with some kids and have a good time and da da da. So I would always make like just friends everywhere, and I feel like that's carried me on to this adult life. And that's a skill that I'm so thankful to have because I understand that's very hard to like, especially older. Like you're not in school, you only work, and like a lot of people don't have like big ass jobs where it's like you're meeting like 30,000 people a year. Like no, like maybe the most you'll meet is like 15 new people in your life. Like imagine like moving to a different city, not knowing anybody. The only people you really will know is people that you work with. That's hard. Like that's really hard. Like it's not easy at all. So, yeah, like you have to like make friends randomly, like on Instagram or like in a line at a grocery store. Like it's just things like that that it's really just crazy because how are you supposed to make friends at an adult age? But thankfully, I know how to talk to people. I understand like it's not like an easy thing to do, and I don't want to shame anybody who doesn't really know. I just want you to let you guys know that that shit's not easy. So if you doing it, you really doing it, and if you're not doing it, that's okay too because you'll find your way, and you probably have people in your circle that you don't even need to make new friends. Like you can just you're cool with where you at right now, and that's cool and that's cool. Book book. So yeah, basically everything in my notes is just what like just about me. If you want, you guys can ask me some questions, please. Yo, I've been doing these questions on my Instagram because I wanted to like talk about topics on here, and y'all are not interactive as fuck. But let me post a bitch shaking her ass. Y'all gonna be 1,000 views. When I ask a question, y'all show me no love. But now I got the pod, so please just ask me more if you want to learn more about me. If you don't already know already, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Like that's just who I am. Like, see money murder, baby. That's me. And so I just wanted to keep this episode short and sweet and, rip the band aid off, rip me out the plastic, and get this out into the internet. I appreciate everybody for watching, for listening. Again, I wish there was more we could talk about, but I do have some things planned for you guys and just things planned for my show. And I really can't wait for everything to take off and for everything to work out. So, shout out to you. And again, sorry that I'm late, but thanks for joining the Behind Schedule podcast. I love you guys. Bye.